The following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I know this one's been a while, Deadites, but welcome to part 7 of What If Deku Was a Guardian. Last we left off, Warmind Musashi had something dire to tell Deku. Vex and Hive activity had been growing at an exponential rate. For some reason, anytime he attempted to connect to the facilities in Venus,
My scans indicate temporal rifts are to blame. I suspect the Vex are the cause. However, the more pressing issue than the Hive would be the Fallen. My drones have informed me of a servitor of great power in Hokkaido.
Well, things just went from bad to worse, Deku. Todoroki let out. You take the Venus route. Your credentials may be needed there. Cerberus, let's move out and prepare for combat with the Fallen. Treat this mission like a strike. Cerberus gave a yes sir and they transmatted out. Before Phoenix could leave, Musashi, it's good to see you survived. Don't be a stranger, okay? Musashi gave his own version of a smile, and just as they were leaving,
You've got enough of those as is, Father.
yes, you heard that right, he's aware of the stranger. Musashi would make regular contact with both the compound and the tower. After all, there were guardians and people at both locations. Deku could have coordinated with the tower for the Venus trip, but he wanted to do this himself. This was truly an ample opportunity to see what they could do as a team without the aid of the tower. I mean, he knows they're good, but he needs to know what they can and can't do to a point. And this is kind of personal. When Deku walks into Cerberus's mission prep, Deku just sat down and watched the show. It was nice having more than one away team to do operations. A good chunk of their guardians had to remain at location to defend it after all.
Ochako, talk to me.
Ochaka stood up and noticed Deku, and he gave her a keep going look.
I took a look at the data packet Musashi sent us, and oh boy is this a problem. That servitor is gaining a massive following, and if it gets any bigger, we may never take Tokyo back. There appears to be another one like it, held up in Russia. I have since informed the tower of their little problem. Zavala was happy for the intel, but was curious on how we obtained it. I didn't really tell him how, since it's not my place to do so, and I'm certain our fearless leader will inform them soon enough. Based on Musashi's information exchange with Rasputin, this one appears to be the greater danger. Why it shows its current location was probably the allure of the bunker it's currently at. According to the report, they haven't actually busted said bunker, and we should be glad that they haven't. There's a nice little weapon stash in said bunker, and I don't want to imagine the Fallen with that kind of firepower.
Sato 9 grunted. Then I suppose we should stop them and take it for ourselves. Shoto sighed. The primary objective is the servitor. Focus on that, and we'll take the cash after the area is clear of Fallen. If they haven't gotten yet, that I assume there's some sort of passcode to get in. Deku hooks Shoto up with the passcode and explains why they haven't brute forced it. Not only did you need to
the passcode, but you had to either be human or have a ghost with you. It also helps that the bunker was well hidden. Cerberus seemed to know what they were doing, so Deku took his leave and went to his prep room. Alright guys, here's the deal. We need to check out these disturbances in Venus, specifically Ishtar Sink. The disturbance is located near the Ishtar Academy. We can't stop straight there due to degradation, but there is a path we can follow to get there. While I'm sure our ghost could get us in, I do in fact have the credentials to do so. So that would be a whole lot of work for our ghost. They would need their sparrows to traverse the distance since Ishtar Academy was technically underground anyway. Good point, Deku. I'm sure House Winter has disabled the network. This could go smoother if we coordinate, but you really want to do this one on your own, don't you? He did. May held this collective dear, and he took it personally that anyone would attack such valuable information. This affront to knowledge would not go unanswered. Deku's rage was visible for all to see. Not even Sloane or Petra would approach him when he was like this. A good amount of the trek is spent in radio silence. However, Sagira would attempt to ease her guardian.
Deku, I know why this means so much to you. And don't worry, we will save the archive.
Sagira had a caring air to her. Thank you, Sagira.
You're welcome.
This specific "you're welcome" was devoid of any snarkiness and was purely genuine. Sagira loved her guardian and it was mutual. They had a small moment during the rest of the flight there. Phoenix touches down and is immediately shown the welcome wagon by the House Winter. I do not have time for this! Deku fired a Nova and Katsuki followed suit with a quirk-enhanced Fist of Havoc, followed up by shots from his Suros regime, and Mina was dropping dregs like flies with her quirk-enhanced Red Death. If the bullets don't kill him, the acid will. A few captains came out, and Mina brought out the golden gun, followed by some sweet Thunderlord action. However, one captain got handsy with her. Oh, dude, you don't know what you've done. One acid veil and a melted captain later, the Fallen pick the safe option and attempt to retreat. Yeah, guys, that's not happening. You should have thought about that before you attacked this specific fire team. Deku had a look on his face that made it clear that there was no mercy to be had. All assailants had been wiped out, and they were officially online. Phoenix was killing it and made it to the academy in an astounding amount of time, considering the effort it took to fight through all those Fallen to get there. Sadly, for Phoenix, this won't be a cakewalk like the rest of the mission was. They're facing about 3 times more Vex than Cannon. A massive army of goblins, hobgoblins, minotaurs, and hydras appear before our team. But just as the odds were looking dire, Deku's eyes flashed, and he was shown an image of himself arcing electricity through his hands, tossing a flaming hammer, and firing a bow of void energy. Here comes the storm! Now, I'm not gonna lie, I say that every time I go Stormbringer. Deku's chains the lightning for a few good minutes and notices a tether of void energy, then sees flaming hammer impact on multiple Vex. So the Traveler showed you guys the way too, huh? Welcome to the party! Deku was spent and was left with just his weapons for now, but Katsuki was using his quirk with his Hammer of Soul and had a bit left in the tank. He ended the Hydra with the force of 3 howitzers. or rather, the equivalent force of 3 howitzers. That was insane, Deku. So that's what it feels like to have the Traveler speak to you? Mina asked. Yeah, that was a real eye-opener. Katsuki gives shot back too. Deku gives them the affirmative, and then the stranger appears. She finished off a straggler. The Vex, an evil so great it despises other evils. I am glad you have managed to overcome your trials thus far, and have been blessed with the power that shall aid you. Trying times are coming, and you must be prepared.
Boss, she's not a guardian.
Mina's ghost let out. No, little light. I was not forged within the light, yet I yearn for it. Something had rattled Deku. That voice. Yes, I know. Hold on. I'm talking to him now. I have to go now. I suggest you talk to the Awoken Queen. The Vex possesses something that could endanger us all. She walked off. Elsia Midoriya Hatsume, we are not done talking. Get back here, young lady. She smiled. I may see you yet again, Daddy. With that, the stranger, who was now revealed to be Elsia Midoriya Hatsume. I'm pretty sure the stranger was Elsie Bray after all, but back to the story. You all know by now that Himiko Togo was Deku's wife. Well, Himiko disappeared out of nowhere, and he's checked the archives. His son died of, well, during the fall of the tower. However, that's not really where I'm going with this. Deku and Mei had a kid before he got with Himiko. She claims she didn't want to be tied down with marriage, and to this day, Deku believes those words. Mei was sad when Deku married Himiko, but the two would still work together famously, and may or may not have had a few slip-ups, if you catch my drift, when they weren't on Earth. Looks like we need to go to the rift. Alright, I have a poll for you. Does Phoenix topple the Gate Lord before they even get to the reef, or not? I mean, that would be a pretty big flex on their part, that's for sure. Phoenix gets the info they need, as in all of it from the archive, just in case it were to go kerplooey, so that all that knowledge isn't gone. And then they RTB. Now let's drop in on Cerberus, shall we? It was a relative cakewalk until... Hold up, Cerberus. That area is heavily fortified. A small army of dregs, 20 vandals, and 5 captains, and... Oh boy. Don't leave me hanging, Kamina. Sorry, sir. They've got a walker. Frack! Chako would hang back and pick off targets with her quirk-enhanced icebreaker. The gun was modified so she could touch the bullets prior to firing them if need be. While the walker was a big problem, they needed to clear the area of as many of its allies as possible. Sato charged headlong like the titan he is. His hard light was going full force. Todoroki fired an opening salvo with his dragon's breath, the napalm effect being enhanced with his quirk. Remember, considering when specifically this all happened, he has no problem with his fireside. So, there's that. Just as a vandal was about to strike Sato, it was shot down by Uraraka, and she dipped to a new hiding place. She was not going to let the walker get the beat on her. Which was lucky that she left when she did, cause... Oh, that was close. Just because she could revive doesn't mean she wants to. Sato noticed the walker preparing its cannon again, and ran at full speed to Todoroki, and popped a bubble. Shoto took that time to ice up the walker in its tracks, then he channeled the energy of the Sun Walker. However, in his instance, he'll be making hot and cold grenades. superheating the walker's armor plating and then super chilling it, thus causing it to crack. Once its core is revealed, Ochako utilized her meteor shower. As per the plan, she had been touching every ounce of debris that had been made. This took care of everyone other than herself.
Guardian down.
Ochako revived her friends, while Shoto could have saved that Sun Singer and self-rest. He needed to use it when he did. The group makes its way to see what I'm going to call Sepix Omega. That's a big frackin' servitor. For those of you watching, I don't think I need to explain too much of the Sepix mechanics, since if you're watching a Destiny video, you've clearly done it, so I won't go too much onto that. And as far as said mechanics, they were the exact same, so that's been taken care of. However, this Sepix was more of a bullet sponge than Prime. Cerberus figured out what to do rather quickly and fought accordingly. Ochako activated her Blade Dancer and went to town on the small fry, then ducked out when Sepix tried to blast her. Once Sepix was downed, Cerberus had little to no ammo left. They finished him just in time. Kamina, you seeing this? Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm calling the tower now. Good job, Cerberus. Rest easy, Deadites. And remember, the night is ours.